Hi there and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Bailey Phoenix 640. These are a basic walkthrough on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were coming on or off site. Starting off first, we have your black hitch head here with silver leather that you have to have pulled up like so. Then you can wind down the jockey wheel onto the tow bar, causing that to snap down, pushing up that red button and exposing a green ring. You have your breakaway cable just here. Legality states if you have an eye point it has to be used, if not, wrap it around the tow bar. You have 13 pin electric on the caravan, so if you do have 7 pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. Then it's gas strut handbrake, so press in on the button and press down to release, and then when you're engaging it you'll hear a first click, a second click, and just give it a nice pull back. 2 points either side, 2 points at the back. We have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself comes with a leg winder, or alternatively you can get yourself a 19mm drill point and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level your caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now we're using our test equipment today here. So first off, I have the plug-in for the mains. Mains plugs in nice and easy. You've got a cap that just goes over the top just there. I then have an Akrol full of clean drinking water just here, and your water pump. The water pump, you release it by just pulling out, and when you want to engage it in, press it in and press down on the cap. You have this white cap to go over the top of the Akrol to ensure no nastiness gets in, and then at the bottom we have your strainer. Now it's crucial that the strainer sits at the bottom of the barrel to allow the maximum potential of water to come through, and so that you don't get any airlocks. I've got a red propane bottle here. I'd always recommend using propane over butane as it has a better performance in winter. Connected onto that we have the black gas hose. Now black gas hoses will run for 5 years. This one's dated 25. And that connects onto this regulator just here. Now what you want to do is hand tighten that as much as you physically can and then nip it up using a spanner. You don't want it ridiculously tight, as that will put excessive pressure inside the O-ring that is in the actual hose. Now once both sides are firmly connected, twist the bottle in the positive or open direction. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. And then lastly, we have your toilet function. So underneath we have the 2 points where your wastewater is going to come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master that you can empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then here we have your cassette toilet. To remove this, press up on the handle and pull out towards you. You can also extend this handle out and up so it can be used similar to a carry-on suitcase. What you want to do then is twist this head to the side, open up this cap like so. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing your vent button. Now my recommendation is to, after that, open up this compartment here, feed in some fresh water, shut it all back up, give it a shake, and then tilt and vent again, just so it smells a bit nicer. And on this cap here you have measurement in both imperial and metric, and that's for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into there, twist the head back to the side. You want to push this in so the orange handle sits behind those white teeth, as then it can't be removed. Above here we have your flush tank. This has the capacity to hold around 12 litres of water. However, I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the capacity. You can also add some pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and makes it smell nicer. Now, you don't want to travel with either of these too full, so just up here, got a little bung to drain off any remaining water in the system. The caravan itself will be fully drained off when you collect it. Underneath your right hand side seat you have your boiler, which is just situated here. You also have these white leads that lead to this yellow drain valve. Facing in the position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come through. However, switch it up to the vertical position and that will drain off any remaining water inside the system. When you collect the caravan, that will be in the upright position. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and anytime you come off site, give a drain off as well. Underneath your left hand side seat you have your trips and fuses just here. all the trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend carrying some extra fuses as well. And you also have your brain box for your motor mover on the side, as well as the point to plug in the red key. Motor mover will be gone over on collection. Here we have your toilet, so all you have to do, lift up the lid, press in the button, and you can see the water gets pushed through just there. What you want to do is then press this handle to the side, which opens up the cassette, and pull it back towards you to completely lock it up. And then when the cassette is full, there'll be a red light on there telling you to empty. Here we have your hob grill and oven. All of this operates on gas, so make sure you've got your bottle plugged in. All you have to do, twist the dial to the side after pressing it in, and the gas will come through, and then you have to press your igniter. Only other real things to note when it comes to it, it may light up and then cut out, or it may just take a while to light when you first go to plug it in. That is natural, that's just the gas making its way through its system. This is what it looks like when they're all lit. As you can see, all burners nice and lit. Up to the vertical position to turn it off. Same concept for your grill. Grill all nice and lit. And finally, your oven. So let's see if we can do this with one hand. Now make sure as well that that tray is not intruding on the igniter. And there you can see all nice and lit. You want to make sure as well that when you're traveling you have this sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are nice and cold. And if you're traveling with a gas bottle, make sure the bottle itself is turned off. Then here we have your Dometic fridge operation. So you've got child locks on the top and bottom. And as you can see right now, fridge is currently off. However, when I press and hold in on this integrated button, you can see lights come on to represent the fridge is on. You then have your choices for the selection of the energy source, which you can change using mode. I'm currently set on auto, and auto chooses mains as the best source to use. Now when I press this, it's going to go to that battery symbol, which is representative of 13-pin electric. So it's going to come up as a hazard, and it's going to begin to beep and flash. Next to that, we have gas. Now for gas, I'd recommend running through your hob grill and oven first, and then choosing that. You may hear it slowly tick in, and then once it's finished ticking, that means it's then lit. You don't have to do anything with that, it will do it itself. You then have mains, and then you have auto, which chooses the best source, in this case mains. You then have the amount of power coming in, so 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. Even on full capacity, it will take around 4 hours to fully chill. Then to turn this off, press and hold in. No more lights on inside, no more LEDs. Then here we have your main control panel. So you have your main on and off switch here. You then have internal lights, which you can see just there. And then you just use your representative switches across the van. You have awning lights, so press that in. We'll go to the outside, and you can see that's on just there. This is a blank button. They use the same interface in motorhomes, and it's just a redundant button. You can then press in this battery button, and it will show the amount of charge coming into the van. Now, as I'm currently plugged in with mains, that's going to show the amount from the mains, but if I was only on battery, that would show the charge for that. You then have your pump button just here, so you press that in. What it would show at the end is that green bar lighting up. Now that is to show that the system is still pressurizing. So green bar has come off. We'll come over to the taps. You're opening up on both hot and cold, and what you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. If there's any coughs and splutters, go outside, check you've got plenty of water, check that the drain valve's in the correct position and that the strainer is at the bottom of the barrel, because otherwise it will just get airlocks. But as you can see, nice steady continuous stream. If you're wanting to use any other type of tap, just go over and pull that through as well. Now when you're not wanting to use the water, press in on the pump button again to turn it off. Come over to your drain valve, flick it up, and it will drain off any remaining water in the boiler, and just open up your tap to drain off any residual water that's in there. Here we have your Truma control panel. So this is for your heating and hot water. You've got a dial here, which is also a select button and a back button. Turn this on, press and hold in, and then you come to this screen here. It shows that mains is plugged in and it says the time is 17 minutes past 1. It's not that at the moment, you can change that in the settings. So press in and you come to this screen. So first up, you have the caravan with the thermometer in it. This is for the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. It goes up to a maximum of 30. So let's say for today I wanted to select 21. Press in and it would show the flame on the top to show that the heating is on. It would also show the former presets as well. You then have the hot water setting. Off, eco, which will get the water to 40 degrees, hot, which will get it to 60, or boost. Now boost will prioritize heating the water over heating the actual caravan for about 30 minutes. After those 30 minutes, boost will then go down to eco. Then we have your energy source. So you can either use gas, mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1, or strictly electric with 2. So you've got the choice of gas, mains, or both. And again, represented with symbols on the top. You then have your fan speed. So you can either have eco or high. So you've got a series of fans across the caravan that will push out the hot air. Eco is nice and steady, high is a lot more vigorous. However, if you do not have the heating on, and let's say it's a nice lovely day, turn off the heating. You can then go to that fan setting and you have off or vent. Now what vent does, it will circulate the air across the caravan, so you just have all your windows open if it was a nice day and allow some fresh air to be pushed through. Then going down to the bottom row, we have a timer. So this allows you to start and stop when you would like the heating and hot water to turn on. So you first input the start time by hours then minutes, and then the end time by hours and minutes. You then have your time. Now this is on a 24-hour clock, so again, hours then minute for the correct time. It will reset itself when you completely turn off the control panel. And lastly, we have your settings: offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, index, and reset. I'm not going to go through that as we've set this panel to what we believe the most user-friendly to use. However, if you'd like to have a look inside your book pack to see what they represent, then please do so. Then when you don't want anything on this, it's time to go home. Press and hold in on the middle dial and it will turn itself off. Now naturally it will fade to that green screen when not interacted with in a while. However, it will still display the text.